Welcome, friends, to the another episode from the pastor's desk. The other day I read a word saying, God is not looking for successful people, but rather God is looking for faithful people. This is a wonderful story about a great successful businessman. As he was getting old, he wanted to choose somebody as the next CEO of his company. He didn't want to choose one of his executives to be a director, nor did he wanted to give his children that position. So he decided to call all the executives of his company and he said, look, I'm getting old and I want to step down from my responsibility. And I wish to choose one of you to be the executive, to be the next CEO. And so all the executives were so surprised. He said, but you have a task. I will give you a seed. You need to take that seed, make sure that you grow that seed, and when it becomes a beautiful plant, by the same year next time, I will see it. And on the basis of what you have done, I will choose the next CEO. And so everybody got one seed, and even Jim got a seed. He went home, he shared with his wife helped him to get a pot, to get the soil, to get some composite, and he planted that seed. Weeks went by, he faithfully watered it, he took good care of it. 3-4 weeks went by, and his pot, that seed hadn't sprouted. And so all his friends began to speak about how well the plants were growing. In 6 months' time, they were speaking about how well that plant had grown, how well it had blossomed. And Jim saw his life to be unsuccessful. He was so much of disappointed that his seed had not grown. A year went by, and the boss said that tomorrow you need to bring your pot. And Jim didn't want to go to office next day, but his wife insisted him to be faithful. She said, you did a hard work, you were faithful, no problem, you take your pot. And so as he entered into that office room, he saw all the young colleagues with the plant that they had grown to be such a beautiful plant with flowers, and it was looking so beautiful. But Jim had a dry pot. And as the boss was examining each pot, he called Jim and he wanted to examine his pot. And after seeing Jim's pot, the executive were asked to sit down, and Jim was called forward. And the boss said, dear friends, I have decided to choose Jim to be the next CEO of this company. And people were all astonished. He said, how could this be? This man cannot grow a plant. How could he be the CEO? This is absolutely unfair. But the boss said, do you know that I had given each one of you a seed a year ago? But do you know that seed that I had given was a boiled seed, a dead seed? You took that seed, and when you saw it was not growing, you replaced it with some other seed. But Jim was the only one who faithfully took care, watered it, nurtured it. My friends, I want somebody to be faithful. I want a faithful CEO. And so I have decided to choose Jim. My friends, that story tells us that God is calling us to be faithful. When we all get to heaven, this is what Jesus will say, well done, good and faithful servant. May the Lord help us to be faithful in what God has entrusted to us. May the Lord bless you through this word.